Good day to everyone, this is me back on my farming channel. I am actually out into the field today, and today I have did a burning up yesterday, and I showed where I was doing the burning up and why I was actually burning up the place. So this is how it looks right now. So this is going to be our potato field. In my earlier video I also mentioned that I would have been doing a piece of cleaning over here, so what I did it today. And so I have the potato field ready. All I have to do now is clear off the bushes. I'm going to give them the day to dry out, and then I'm going to pull them off, make a fire heap inside of here, and then I'm going to start getting the area ready for doing my plantation. And then afterwards I'm going to be heading up to this piece of field here where I'm going to be doing my planting trees. So I'm going to dedicate the whole area, go all the way up to this piece of tree that's standing up here. That's going to be a bacano tree. I'm going to do the whole field here in planting. That's how I did the whole field over there in provisions, like figs. I think I have 1 or 2 planting plants. So I'm going to do figs also in this area. So also now, as I can say, if you have a good piece of land and you actually have it sitting and you want to start doing something with it, I will recommend something that I made a mistake with. Is what I did is actually when I started cutting on the trees myself with a little help from my uncle, what happened is I packed the trees in a sequence. But actually, I will recommend, if you're cutting on your trees, yes, the work is going to seem a little hard, but what I recommend is that you try to pile it up in one spot. Okay, so if it's you alone, do what you can do. So I give myself a small double work here where I have to actually pack them over, burn them over. It wasn't no big set of work because all I did is I laid them along, as you can see where the fire had passed. So it wasn't much work to bring them to one corner. But actually, if you're cutting down woody trees, you try and make 1 heap or 2 heap or 3 heaps, but you try to make them bundles so that you don't got pieces here, pieces over, so you have to like based on your reach, you actually cut and you actually put together so that you can get an easier burn. And when you come to cutlass the garden, it's not going to be hard because you won't find any pieces of wood all about the place as this tree is. So I gotta get some chainsaw and I have to actually cut up that piece of wood here, and then I'm gonna have to throw it down. So this tree actually uprooted, so I have no, I can say, blame to take for that tree, but in sooner time to come I'm gonna get it cut up, so it's gonna be one open space, and this is gonna be only for potatoes. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna test the ground. See, it's really soft and there is still moisture below. Okay, so I'm not going to waste that moisture because I intend to start doing the plowing up tomorrow, please the Lord. And I want to get this afternoon to go get some of my best planting plants, and I want to start doing my holes and putting them in between that hole instead up there. I don't mind. What I did is actually I used a cutlass to get rid of this tree, so I don't mind doing it again. So I'm going to chop off all the small sprangs, drop them to the side, and the big sprangs I'm just going to roll them to the side. So I won't got much amount of work. And actually with this tree is actually like a cedar tree, so when it's cut, it actually gets light when it starts drying and makes it easier to cut and easier to lift. So, and it's actually down a slope, so I don't got no big set of problem. I just gotta roll it until I enter the side, and then that's it for it. And after I plant up everything, then I'm going to make sure that they cut, and I'm going to pass around, and I'm going to do last more spraying between them to keep them nice and firm. So I intend to change the garden for good right now. I have changed the first one for good up there. It looks really pleasant and very great, and it actually got 1 or 2 figs, 1 or 2 plants and trees, and I still got a few more plants that I need to supply back up there, but it's not much. So what I'm going to be doing this afternoon, I think I'm going to go back up there this afternoon. I'm going to do a piece of cleaning up again. I'm going to do a piece of sweeping, and I believe that's what I'm going to do for this afternoon. So for here now, I'm going to be getting ready for plowing. As I said, I had actually burned up all what I need to burn and give my animals some more spacing to eat. So this is not going to be a problem for them in the later life. So the sun is actually hot here. I don't want to do my plowing too early, um, too late during the day, so that the sun takes up all the little nutrients and water that's on it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it for now, and maybe I can base doing my plowing. Sometimes I still change my mind and do my plowing this afternoon, and then afterwards I take another day and I go up there, because that's the only hardest piece of work I have here to do, is actually get the beds ready for the plowing to put on the potatoes. So as long as I plow this, that's the hardest piece of job. All the other pieces of jobs is just to open holes for plantings and plant up the area in plantings, and then right to the top of the line I'm gonna give it a spraying, and I'm gonna do some tanias there. And then for this side over there, as I said, this is gonna be my animal section. So I'm going to make sure that the place is really vined up so that they can eat as much as they want, and they're gonna have over there cleaned up for me. I'm gonna get some spice trees and put over there. So that's it for now. I'm gonna be heading back down home because I gotta go work on my small nursery. So I'm gonna go work on that nursery, and I'm actually going to get it done today. I was supposed to get it done yesterday, but I was so tired I could have barely moved. So today I'm gonna get it done, and after getting it done, I may have one more piece of garden to show you guys. I've just went and checked it out today. So I'm going to be doing a big piece of melon into that garden. I think it should be maybe at least an acre or two. It's a good piece of land. And I'm going to fix it up, clean it up, and I'm going to plant some real melons in that land. And it's actually a mountain piece of garden, so I'm in for really, really good production there. And I'm hoping that actually I get through with it, that nobody passes there and destroys it and stuff. So I can say I consider this land already finished, because I actually did the most difficult part of it, to burn up the pieces of woods, to get the place cleaned, and to actually clean that side. So normally if I were wasting time, I would have still had this side to clean and this side to clean, but actually I don't know what it's taking into me, but I decided that I come up here and I get that piece off, and I get the next piece off on top, and then I decided, okay, that's going to be a start for me to come here. And after I come here, I worked up that piece of area here, and it also gave me a little push, motivation, and I actually worked up that piece up there also. So thank you all for watching on my Daryl David vlogs. I'm actually happy to see everyone who's watching on here. Don't feel free to comment, like and share. You can ask for videos with um, simpler ways to do things that you can actually try. For persons living in areas where you don't have no space to plant anything to eat, or any food of any vegetable, what technique or strategy you can use to actually plant vegetables in such spaces that you don't have earth. So I have done all these little researches on my own by actually doing my little research work, brainstorm, um, just looking at simple ideas like basic ideas, and growing plants where they were not supposed to grow, and seeing if they can actually survive, and seeing if persons may need certain things at certain times in certain places that it doesn't have the requirements. What is the simplest form you can actually use to actually get that stuff done? And I did some, and they were actually successful. And I can actually do some more videos if you like. You can comment in the section, and I can show you guys what I actually did and how it came out to be. So when I'm gonna be doing my plowing, so I'm showing you all from start to finish. Sorry I didn't show you all when hair wasn't cut, but I think I did make a recent video where I was showing something, but it's cut now. So it's there, what's not actually cut as yet, but I did put a piece of spring there, so I have a lot of bush dying out there. So here, when I'm plowing, after I finish plow, I'm going to show you how it looks. I am going to show you what is actually done here, if it's progressive and all of that, so that I am going to know for surety that everything is under control. So after I do the piece of plowing, when I'm planting the slips, I'm going to show you the sequence, I'm going to show you how the farm looks, I'm going to show you everything that you need to know and everything that you may actually like to see when actually the farm is actually being in good production. So what I actually recognizing here now is actually I am not behind. All what I'm doing is actually waiting for the weather. I do need to take a day to go look for a piece of water stream because there's a water stream lower down to the person's garden down there where I actually had made a little dam was to do my pump, but my pump the water wasn't sufficient there, so I had to go all the way to the river to get the water. But that is a little stream that even if I get a little piece of flow from it, it doesn't have to be anything big. As long as I get a little piece of flow from it, I can get some lines and bring it back down here. And bringing it back down here in, I can say, the more drier seasons like now, I can have a little bit of water. I can just cut a hedge in, come all the way over here, and I can let it sip the time, take the time and sip through, and actually enters. Okay, so this is what I've done today, and right in the back of me, I had actually cleaned up the piece of area which I said I will, and I'm very happy that satisfied with the piece of work that I've been done here, and I am actually ready for the plowing stage. So I'm going to take my time and I'm going to start plowing this area here first, so I can give this area enough time to dry and die out, and then when I'm ready, I'm going to put on my first set of slip, and it's going to motivate me to do the second piece of plowing way better than the first piece of plowing. And after this, I should have my planting holes ready. These two trees moved out and working on the planting area. So it doesn't matter if I doesn't get everything done one time, what I can do still, bit by bit. Before I used to rush to work and be really tired, but now I understand the level of working farming, so I can actually simmer it down very nice and slow. And what I can do is actually I can dig the holes, get my strings, line it up, get the straights, dig the holes, and actually I can get ready to plant. So after I dig all the holes, I can just bring the plants and just take one evening, about half of an hour, and take my time and just put them back into the hole, cover back the hole, and leave them there, let it start doing their thing. So this is it for now. All what we're hoping for right now in this country is a little bit of rainfall. But some people say that we're not going to get a rain right now. Some people say we're going to get it a little later on and stuff like that. So what I will do in the meantime, I will try my best to actually go and do a little survey. I'm going to try and follow the water stream, which I said is a little lower down. I did try following it already, but I haven't put enough effort into it because I stopped not too far there. And I don't like when I stopped. I didn't really give it my best. So I believe that I can find a stream. I don't think that maybe I shouldn't doubt myself, but I believe I could find a stream. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a day. Um, Maybe it could be this afternoon if I come up to plow. Um, I believe it's going to be one at a time because I have the plowing to do, and I would like to do the plowing because the area already cleaned up for the plowing. So I can do the plowing, and in my spare time after I finish up the plowing, this could give me a little motivation to go try find the water. As long as I find that stream, it's always down a hill, so it's not going to be a problem for me. And when it comes to the pressure of the water, it's not going to be a problem also. See, everything is going to be good. So for now, this is what is there. And one thing I can say is if you're farming and you actually love farming, I would say don't rush it. Take your time, start doing it because that's one of my problem I had. I rushed out that garden so fast to get it cleaned up and to get it progressing that actually I started falling down. Okay, and when I fell down, it's not that I fall down on the ground or collapsed or anything. It's just that my body became overwhelmed to the amount of work that I give to it during a day, and it broke down a little bit, and I couldn't work. Honestly, I had no appetite for working, so I had to just rest it out, give myself some time, and after the time had taken space, then actually I started to come back, and I started doing gradually pieces of work, gradually, and now I can actually do a good piece of work, and I can do a small portion of work for the day and feel satisfied with the way I do it, how I do it, what plan I use, what strategy I'm going to use to get a job done as quick as possible, and that is what I did, and everything's shifting up to the way I believe it should be. So for now, the only problem I have here is water, and I said there is a stream there, and if I have to really take the search, I'm gonna really take the search to find it. As long as I find that stream, it can be about 1.5 meters of water flowing or 2.0 meters of water flowing. That's just sufficient for me to do what I have to do, because I'm not going to be doing my lands with sprinklers again. I'm not going to be doing it with an irrigation setup like this. I'm going to be doing it by hedge drains. So I'm just going to be buying pipes. I'm going to be running them back, and I'm just going to cut hedge drains, and I'm just going to let it soak and soak the land. So I can give it like a whole night wetting, and this can last me for a week. So when I open once, this is just to full out the hedge drains, take its time, drain down the slope, and actually wet everything. And then afterwards, overnight, after the overnight period is gone, then I come and I just shut it off. And I manual if I have to manual, I regulate if I have to regulate, or I get ready for spraying. And then if I don't have any of these things to do, or more than that, the land is clean and everything is okay, and all I have to do now is just watch my plants grow and see when they need the manuals and when they need whatsoever caring, and I just come and I give it to them. So I will say for young farmers, I recommend like the first part to start in farming if you have a good piece of acre of land or maybe a half an acre, whatever amount of land you have and you want to do farming, I'm going to suggest that you start with long-term crops, things like tanya, um, things like provisions. Okay, I won't actually give you a start to do things like lettuce and cabbages and tomatoes as a young farmer, because there's a lot of increasing money that you will have to spend for expenditures. And as a young person, you don't want to give yourself all that debt, because from buying the plants, sometimes you don't have the time to sow the seeds, so you have to buy the plants. From buying the plants, then you actually have to get the place prepared. If you don't have any idea of doing it, then you have to pay someone. That's another part of expenditure again. If you have to plant it, then you may have to get some sort of idea to plant it. So you may have a friend with you to plant it. By the end of the day, you might want to give that friend a little shoot up so that you can get something to eat or something to drink just for the appreciation. From this, then you have to buy your manuals. Then you have to continue weeding. Then you have to get water system and all that stuff. So I'm saying if you start with planting figs, potatoes, tanya, dashings, whatsoever you has, and you start with those things don't need much. It's just clean the land, bore the holes, put the plants there, and it's just manual you have to buy in my country. Manual is a little bit super expensive, but if you buy it we have it by the 5 pounds, by the pound, 2 pounds, anyhow you want it, you can get it, and it's actually easier so. Okay, so you can take your time and do it like this until you actually get the full swing of it. And when you do get the full swing of it, then actually you can say, okay, my plantings are doing very well. I'm making X amount. I may want to try some short crops. And if you're going into the short crops, don't try to go big, because it's something that need a lot of time, effort, attention, and a lot of money. So this is one of the things you have to actually have in your mind, that it requires plenty of money. So today I've done my piece of job which I came to do, and I actually finished the other piece of job which I came to do, and I actually finished the last piece of job which I had to do yesterday, but because of the fire I had to do it today, and it is done. So I'm satisfied now, and I'm just going to get ready to plow this area and show you all the sequence in which I plowed it. I haven't seen the vision of it as yet, but to me, I believe that I'm going to give it a very good plow that when I look at it, I can feel real good surprise. So the sequence that me and my partner had actually decided to sequence the potato slips is we plan to do 3 slip per bed, and it's going to be one, one, two, three. So as the cutlass is here, so that's 2. Then we're going to put 1 more to the side. So it's going to be 3 slip in a row on a bed come down. So we know for sure if we doesn't get in the first one, we will get in the second one, definitely we'll get in the third one. And if it comes really good, then we're going to get in all 3, and that's going to be very good. So it's just like this, places where we can get banks, where there is a lot of roots and we cannot get beds. We can get the banks, we can do banks. Places where we can get good long beds, we're going to do good long beds. So for now, everything is not under control as yet, but the main part of this piece of project here is halfway already finished. I don't consider the planting plants as any work at all, because it's just opening up a hole and just putting the plants there. So as I said, tomorrow, praise the Lord, I can come up with my string and I can dig the hole as neat as possible, straight as possible in a line, and I can have it ready for when I take off my plants. It's just going to be to stick them in, and then I'm just going to start getting ready for manuring, and then I can work higher up and get that piece of job done, and I'm finished with this piece of garden also. So that's just the last thing I have to do, but I'm taking my time and do them because they're long-term crops, and I don't intend to try to rush them. So thank you all for watching on my family channel and also on my vlog. And I actually hoping to see a lot of young farmers like myself who's going to come up like the passion of farming. Maybe I might be motivated by what I do here on this vlog, and you may see it as something that's going to uplift you, something that's going to push you to the future, and you're going to actually put yourself out there, work hard, get the job done, try and give yourself a task and try to every day try to get the task done and actually try to get a little piece more. Okay? And try to work with time so that you know that time is money, is how you spend your time. That's how you know what amount of money you can make. And if you want to waste your time, then you know for sure you're not going to expect to get any much. So if you want to get a lot of things done, you want to have a lot in life, you want to be somebody affordable in life, then the way you spend your time determines how amount of things you want to accomplish, if it's going to be possible. So everything is possible. Put your mind to it. It's a mind game. You put your mind to the job. You forget all the risk, all the disadvantages. You look at all the advantages you can get from it. And the land already is producing for you. It's not to say that you have to find some superhero to actually put power into the land so that it can bear. The land is already bearing. All what you need to do is just get a cutlass. What do we have here is a crook, and you also need a file. Okay, when you have this tree, if you're not a big farmer as yet, then you're going to use this tree for now. If you think of that, you cannot actually go through that piece of work where you actually has to come here and actually cut grass with cutlasses, then you can actually invest in a weed eater. And with a weed eater, then here comes a little bit of expenditures again, where you actually have to get gas, and you have to get guts, and then you have to get parts when it's actually gone. So it's what's best for you, as I always say, it's what's best for you, and what's best for you is what you use to make your job lighter, easier, and the more machine you use, the more time you have to do more things. The more manpower you use, the less time you have to do certain things. So for me, it's actually come up here early, get a piece of job done, run back, do another piece of job, get it done, run back, do another piece of job, until I get all my jobs finished by the end of the day. So I'm going to leave you all here again, and get ready to see you in the next video.